Hello and welcome to the Watch Lucky channel, where we bring you all the good and honest watch reviews. And here's a reminder to all my viewers out there, if you haven't done so, please subscribe to my YouTube channel because I've got new videos uploaded every week just for all of you. In today's video, we are going to review this one here on the review desk. This is a St. Martin SN0045. Alright, I unboxed this one a couple of weeks back, and as I said in my unboxing video, this is an original design. Alright, this is no longer a copage, a copy, or a homage. I'm just very pleased to know that they have launched something original. This is not the first time they've done so. Alright, St. Martin, they have rolled out original designs before, I think 2 or 3 years ago, but those things, they don't sell very well. Alright, so this one here, SN0045, it was launched about 3 months ago, I think, and last month Gary of I Like Watches, he did a full review on this model here, the exact same model. This is the SN0045. So let's just dive into the review, and I'm going to share with you my thoughts on this new model here. So as you can see, this watch, it doesn't copy any Seiko or Tudor or Rolex models. It is a new model by itself, and I got in touch with Glenn at St. Martin, alright, my good friend Glenn. He has agreed to loan to me this watch for review. So big disclaimer here, I do not earn any income from filming this review. Alright, neither do I get this watch for free. Alright, I need to send this watch back to Glenn the moment I finish filming all my videos. So I've just zoomed in a little bit as I talk to you about the specifications. This watch here, it has a case of 40.2 millimeters. It is marketed as a 40 millimeter watch, so overall dimensions pretty small. Alright, so we're going to compare this to a Seiko Samurai. Alright, I have all these watches very handy with me when I film all these diver watch reviews, so just take a look here. Alright, so one look, you know, the Samurai is 44 here, so one look, you know that the SN0045, the new St. Martin here, is a much smaller watch. Thickness here is 13.5 millimeters from the base of the screw-in case back to the top of the slightly domed sapphire crystal here. Lug width here is 20 millimeters for the strap, but do bear in mind that we're talking about a lugless design here, or a secret or hidden lug design, so you don't really get to see any lug, so it looks more like a scallop case design or a helmet case design here. And because of the unique lugless design we're talking about here, I'm just going to list the lug to lug here as being from the widest point here, and this one here measures in at about 43 millimeters. So some other information that you may need to get a good gauge of the dimensions here, we're having a bezel width of 39.7 millimeters, and we have a really small crystal here. It is about 29 millimeters. Also, we've got a really small crown here on the 3 o'clock side. No crown guards. It is a screw-in crown, and it's rather small. I measured, it is about 6.3 millimeters. And this watch here, despite being such a small watch, it is not exactly very lightweight. So I measured on the digital scale, it came in at 116 grams. So let's just do some comparisons again with the Samurai. The Samurai here weighs about 121 grams or 122 grams. This one here is 116. So comparing this to my Solar Tuna, alright, this is Solar Tuna, it's a quartz, and this one here is about 97 grams, all with rubber straps. So you do get a good gauge that it is not exactly a very lightweight watch. At the time of this video review, the SN0045 retails for US dollars 239, so you can buy this off St. Martin Watches website, and if you use my discount code given in the links below, you do get a small discount, and I will get a small commission. Thank you very much. So for a watch at this price point, we're looking at low US dollars 200-ish. So you're going to get the NH35 movement. So this one here is like a tried and tested workhorse movement. It is actually the Seiko 4R35, but when used for micro brands and homage copage, we call this the NH35, and so far it's proven to be very robust, and I would say it's very affordable. If there are any problems, you just replace the entire movement. So let's move on and talk a little bit about the case design and the overall build quality. So the first thing that strikes you, or rather the first thing that struck me when I look at this design, when I received the watch, definitely would be the scallop case here. Okay, this lugless design here. Okay, so I think it sort of looks vintagey to me, like those helmet kind of diver. I don't know if there's a design called this, you know, lugless design and I think some Rado watches they used to have this design. So for me it's like luckless or hidden lux, and this one really struck me, and I find that this is a very unique design and probably a very good platform for St. Martin to work on their all original models. So the case construction here is all stainless steel design in a mix of brushed and polished surfaces. So the top of the watch here, alright, it is done in concentric brushing, and the sides of the case, they're all done in high polish or just polish finishing. And when we go back to the case back here, it goes back to brush finishing here. So the watch here actually has a bit of a curve to the mid case. Right, you can see there's a curve here on the mid case, and as it transits to the area nearer to the lux. But overall, I think the curve here is negated, and I don't think it's important because this watch here has got a really short lug to lug. So curve or not, it really doesn't matter in terms of wearability or fit. So I think the absence of a crown guard here is a nod to the vintage styling here. Okay, so it's pretty obvious. You've got this case here, helmet case or scallop case, and no crown guard. So I think it's a nod to vintage design, but I really feel that this crown here is a little bit too small. Alright, so at 6.3 millimeters or 6.4, it's a bit too small. I think they should have gone up to closer to 7 millimeters for a better grip overall. And the SN0045 also comes mounted on a waffle strap. So this is silicone material. I don't think this is FKM rubber. Okay, but it does feel pretty good, very soft, flexible, and I don't see much of mold lines or jagged edges, and it is nicely signed with the St. Martin logo here. This is the shield design, and it is the same design as the one found on the dial. Alright, but just take a look at the barcode here. It's really nicely done, well made, but it has a new St. Martin signature. And a minor complaint for St. Martin fans would be they are rolling out far too many logos. They've got the shield logo, they've got the shark logo at the case back as well as the crown, and then they have other types of cursive looking logo at their vintage design watches. So I think that's just an overload of logos here, so maybe they might want to keep to just one or two designs here. So let's go on and talk about the dial design. So while you can definitely tell that this is not a homage anymore, alright, the case here is unique. I don't recall any Seiko, any Tudor, Rolex, or whatever brands that St. Martin is homaging. I don't remember any brands having such a case, so it is not a homage, but there are still strong Seiko elements in terms of dial design here, namely because the handset, the markers here, I think these are more or less Seiko parts bin kind of thing. So I think the markers here, they are from Willard, and the handset is from Marine Master. Alright, so I can't be very sure, I'm not 100% sure, but I think they really remind me of such watches. Okay, so granted, the handset here is really nicely brushed. Okay, in fact, they call this the GS Grand Seiko technology or finishing on their handsets, and under micro lens they really look very good. So it is also finished off with that pinion cap here at the top, and I think this is a really nice move. It is even nicer than many Seiko lower end models. So I do like this ceramic bezel insert here. I think it really brings the watch up a few notches. Alright, it is a shiny, glossy ceramic bezel insert, and I think without the minute hash markers, alright, at least it doesn't have the entire bezel insert printed or engraved. So I think it's got a cleaner look, and I really like how the lume pip is executed. I think it is very well made, right? So this one here, it is applied. So other points worth mentioning on the dial would be the applied markers here. Okay, again, nicely done, and no rough edges or anything like that. And the handset here is just amazing. I dare say they are of higher quality. They compare well even with 1000 plus Seiko watches. So I've just charged up the lume with my UV torch. Now I'm going to switch off the studio lights and let's see how bright the lume is. So okay, wow, I must say this is very impressive. Alright, it definitely is on par with any Seiko diver lume I've seen, and if I'm not wrong, this is even brighter. Okay, I'm really liking it. This one here, due to the curve on the sapphire glass, you're seeing some reflections here on the loom, and it really looks really beautiful. And the loom pip here is also nicely done, nicely loomed. And now we zoom back out for a wrist shot of the SN0045 on my wrist. My wrist is about 17 centimeters, and you can see that it fits smaller wrists very well. Obviously, it is helped very much by the fact that this is a luckless watch. It has no lux, alright. So strap here is definitely a bit too long for me, but I think it's very comfortable. Really nice buckle here, and let's just take a look at the side profile here. No lux, so no lug gaps at all. Alright, so when you got no lux, obviously you got no lug gaps, and wearability is just fantastic here on this one. And of course, we're going to do a size comparison between this one and some well-known Seiko divers. So we've got a Samurai here. Alright, so both these watches are on rubber straps. Just take a look at the L to L. Alright, so lug to lug distance, just take a look at what difference it makes. So this one here, lugless, the Saint Martin, and you can see that it really wears much smaller as shown on the wrist shot earlier on. So in terms of thickness though, they're both the same. Alright, about 13.5, 13.4. So I also like to compare this watch with another Seiko diver here, which is also known to be more or less a lugless design. So the Solar tunas here, they're also known to be, you know, lugless. In fact, all the tunas, they have really short lug to lug distances, and I would say the Saint Martin here has got even shorter lug to lug distance than the Turtle. Alright, so in terms of case design, case size, of course, there is no comparison. The Seiko at 47mm is the much larger watch. So all in all, I would say this is a really good attempt by Saint Martin to break away from the usual stereotype that it is, you know, just a copycat company. Alright, it's definitely good to see them coming out of their comfort zone and trying to produce and design watches that are unique, that are original. Alright, so I'm happy with the move that they're making, but at the end of the day, I think this watch here still doesn't come across as a fully true blue original design because of the heavy Seiko vibes you get from the dial design. Alright, so by looking at the handset, by looking at the hour markers here, I think, you know, from afar, okay, I'm just going to place this thing really far away, it still looks a little bit Seiko-ish to you, or Seikoesque, okay, if that's the word to use. Okay, so very strong Seiko vibes going on in terms of handset and dial design elements, but you really got to admit that in terms of case design here, I think they've done something really good here, and I really want to encourage them to continue to move towards this direction. So this watch here is still far from perfect, so the first complaint that I'm going to make is about this crown here. It's a little bit small. Okay, I know it's a small watch, it's 40mm, but the crown here could be at least, you know, closer to 7mm. Alright, the next thing I'm going to talk to you about is how close the spring bar is to the case. Okay, so I get to know this because just take a look here. The strap here cannot be, you know, folded. Okay, so it's very different from other Seiko watches that I've got. So again, I'm going to show you my Samurai, and you just take a look here. Alright, so there's probably more allowance from the spring bar to the case, so you can, you know, set your watch down this way. Okay, but for the Saint Martin, you can't really do it. Alright, see? Alright, so the strap here doesn't really fold in nicely. So all you can do is, you know, set your watch down on the table flat like this. So I'm not too sure if that's how you like to do it, but for me, you know, it feels a little bit weird. So there you have it. That was my full review of the Saint Martin SN0045. Alright, so this is a brand new design, original design. Alright, it doesn't copy, or it doesn't you know, try to look like any other expensive watch or anything like that. So I really got to, you know, praise Saint Martin for doing this. Alright, I think this is the right direction because they've been making really good watches. Alright, good build quality, good materials, brushing is nice, handsets are really well polished, even better than 1000+ Seiko watches. So it is about time they, you know, do something, you know, to get more recognition and not just get all the complaints and hate comments. Alright, so I really wish the company all the best, and I look forward to seeing more original reviews from them. Alright, the SN0045 is a good first step. Okay, now I would say it's a baby step towards original designs for Saint Martin. Keep it up, guys. Alright, so if you like this watch, if you like George, please Come back here every week. I've got new videos uploaded every week just for you. Goodbye.